Yo, what's up, man? You know, normally when we start this show, we're excited. We're talking about all the lifestyle basketball brings us, the reason why we're here. We love basketball, the only show that builds basketball one brick at a time. This is the brick, baby. And you know, I don't roll solo. I got my man Q. I got my man Juice. And you know, we're not smiling as much because the last time we had this show, we had my man Chris Casati. Much love, condolences to your family, man. We love you, we miss you. And yet, another death in the basketball space. My man Shuda Mukhumuti, man. I know him personally when he was young, almost sent him to the US, but we'll talk about it in the second segment. But yeah, maybe a moment of silence for the brothers that have left us. Ladies and gentlemen, one moment of silence. And just like that, we had to pay homage, man. But we're bringing it right back. This is the brick. He would have allowed us to do this. And yeah, before we start, it's customary for you, Q. Pour out a little liquor for the homies, man. And then, yes, for the brothers out here.
I'm so glad that you allowed me to get a word in. This is so great. It's great to be back, though.
And that's how we do it, man. You know, this is the show, right?
Salute. That's the show.
This is the show. And yeah, we got a toast to Chris, man. We got a toast to Mukhumuti, shooter, the man that knows how to shoot basketball. And yeah, I don't do ice. They say it's whiskey on the rocks now.
Well, this is to our fallen soldiers.
Our fallen soldiers.
R.I.P. to Chris
R.I.P.
and Mo.
man.
Chris
A little bit more somber than usual.
Yeah, he's cheap like that because he doesn't want to throw a little, you know, to the brothers out in the garden. But this is cute, man.
This is a Senton garden, man. I'm gonna show you there's brothers out here.
And now that we're done with the customary stuff, the lifestyle stuff, and yes, you know, this show is all about basketball, and we talk about the important stuff. And this time we'll be talking about Chris and Mukhumuti, and of course we ended up with the lifestyle. But Juice, where you been, man? You know, I haven't seen you in a long time. People are wondering what's going on. Is the break still happening, or what's going on?
Let me tell you, man. I've been everywhere that you guys have not been.
Oh, yeah?
I heard you were milking cows or something.
Let me tell you, I don't even know if there's a herd of cows that's named after me to come milk.
No.
But let me tell you, man, there's been so much basketball happening.
Yeah?
We saw, obviously, you guys will fill us in on some of the happenings from Cairo. But then on the home front, man, you've had the ICSL happening. You've had the JBL happening.
The Ashraf.
We recently had the Ashraf Ludovik Memorial Tournament at Wits University last week, and that was a big one. You know, so there's been enough basketball happening for us to actually, you know, keep the game alive and keep the game flowing.
Well, before we even go into the detail there, yo, Q, man, the last time I saw you were in Cairo. What's good, man?
Shut up, all of you.
Yalla, Gabby, yalla. Let's go.
Shukra.
Yeah. You know where we were, and you saw that the basketball was on a completely another level out there. You know, everybody keeps asking me, what is it like to be out there? And I keep telling them, it's once in a lifetime. If you can't play, you have to get out there just to experience what the Basketball Africa League actually is, because it's so much more than what you get to see on TV and in terms of the product. And just as a basketball experience, and I'm sure that now that you've been there, you can echo what I'm saying. It's second to none.
Let me tell you something. I've been around basketball. And let me tell you something. This was the best basketball experience ever. Not when I was in Angola or when I was in Belgium. No, ever. I think the whole experience was something I've never experienced before. And in fact, you know, I was talking to the Tigers. We should come up with travel basketball with the Tigers, or travel with basketball with the Tigers, or something like that. The bottom line is,
brainstorming right now?
let me tell you
There are
something. Bottom
plenty
line
of
is
ideas like that. But
we need to travel with the Tigers, man.
You do, because you travel with the Proteas. Why don't you travel with the Tigers?
Exactly.
Travel with the Lions. You
Travel with the young legends.
No,
Travel with
never
the
do
chosen
that,
few.
ever.
Travel with the
Where's the matter?
sensei.
Juice, Ivatung Shem. Please, Juice, come back to the world. This world right here, man. You know what I'm saying? But let me tell you something, man. So this is my experience of Egypt. and I want to talk basketball and non-basketball stuff. First of all, they don't have load shedding.
Oh,
Thank
yes.
God.
Oh,
and in
yes.
fact, my daughter, I got to bring my family over, and my daughter Googled, it's like, Egypt has got light pollution. What it means is that there's light everywhere at night. There isn't light everywhere here in South Africa. And here's another thing that I realized. It's like the guys, the driving. I mean, I don't know what you thought about the driving there, man.
I've traveled, so that's nothing.
That's nothing to you?
You haven't
I was
traveled.
literally, I pulled my heart out, I put it here, and I was like, if I die, at least they can have my heart floating around. It was scary.
I would say this: when you travel in Africa, be prepared. You know what? That's all I'm gonna say. Learn that personal space boundaries don't apply in lines and on the road. Just be alive and be aware.
But no accident.
No accidents.
I came back first day. There was an accident here in South Africa. Somebody was lying down on a motorbike. I was like, no.
Yeah, there's a different skill attached to it. They drive that way, and I enjoyed it actually. This time I have different appreciation for it.
And let me tell you something. The hotel, the arena. Come on, Q. 5-star hotel on steroids. The arena on steroids.
Lifestyle. And this is why I said that in order for you to actually understand what the BAL is, apart from the high-level basketball that we get to see on the floor and the competition and the pride that comes with representing your teams, it's clubs. These are clubs. They're not countries. So it's
How
something
many
a
years
little
is
different.
Zamalek again? 70-something years?
Zamalek is 85.
85 years?
I just got to
Come
go
on,
double
man.
check. But they've been out there as a sporting club.
Wow.
But you must understand that this is a work in progress, and we haven't even begun to see or scratch the surface of what basketball can unearth. It's still a baby. This is literally only the second season of the Basketball Africa League, and there's so much more that's going to happen. If you can already identify some players that you did not know before the Basketball Africa League, then it's working. If you know the name Atir Majok or Firas Leyani, and I don't have to say anything about that, or if I say the name Opekpa or Evans Ganapamo, just for argument's sake, if I bring up names like that and you know them, that means that it's working.
Let me tell you something. If you didn't know, right? Since the league was launched, the NBA Africa with the BAL is now worth $1 billion. Now, you might think it's something that they throw in the air, but they sold 8.3% for $85 million across different celebrities in the US and some big companies. So by the time you pay that kind of money, you're not gonna reevaluate any less. It can only go up. So if you're not a part of basketball right now, $1 billion industry in 2 years of BAL, I don't know where you want to be.
Yeah, and I don't think that seat is always open. You know what? It's just like all conversations. You have to be aligned with the values that they are trying to espouse, and then you've got to have the money too. So, it's not that easy.
So now, with those figures, how then, when you bring it back home, do you pitch that to federations throughout the continent to say, okay, guys, if for the past years as federations you had no reason to fix yourselves, now here's a big legitimate reason or a league that's finally happening through Africa. How do you then...
Juice.
Yeah.
I just pitched it.
Sure.
$1 billion. If that doesn't make sense to you,
Yeah.
then I don't know what else I have to say. This is an industry that can create jobs. It's an industry that can employ people. It can grow into many other aspects. I mean, we got shoes, we got basketball shoes, we got hoops, we got all sorts of things. But let me tell you something. The reason why this show makes sense right now is because South Africa is relevant. Cape Town Tigers are relevant. And there's one man that made us relevant. And this is Evans Ganapamo.
You want to say Evans?
Evans Ganapamo, please.
I want to say Evans because he speaks French. All right, Evans Ganapamo, man. Yo, we'll be back right after this. Yo, Evans, how you feel about being here in Cairo, man?
Man, I'm just happy to be here, man. Beautiful city, my first time in Cairo, so happy to be here.
And how did you feel about the arena?
Arena beautiful, man. I mean, top tier gym. You can't get better than that, so.
You were putting up some shots. How do you feel about the nets?
Yeah, I think the nets are ready.
Yeah?
The nets are ready, yeah.
And I was hearing that net just ripping apart, man. You
Yeah.
think that's what's going to happen in your first game?
It might come off, the net might come off, you never know.
It's going to burn down.
Yeah, it might, you never know.
All right,
we're
man.
ready, though. We're ready. We're prepared, and we think we're going to do some good things out here.
You guys were looking good out there. But you know what? This is brought to you by The Brick. Building basketball one brick at a time. Say that, let's hear it.
For sure, one brick at a time.
That's right. Welcome back, welcome back. This is The Brick, the only company.
Yeah, you're right.
The only show, the only company, the only show. Look, the only show that builds basketball one brick at a time. Let me tell you this, man. Everything is all BAL related, BAL playoffs, man. We're going to Kigali next week. Yo, Q, what's good?
Hey, I'm excited. I must say, I really am. It's the thing is, it's single elimination. So in my head, there's a little mix of NCAA going on. Anything can happen. Your ranking and your seeding really is not that important. I think there are certain favorites if you look at the current matchup. So it's 1 versus 4 from the respective conferences and 2 versus 3 inverted. So Reg will play FAP from Cameroon. US Monastir will take on Cape Town Tigers, which is a tough matchup. then you've got Slack. There's Petro de Luanda taking on AS Sale. That's a great game. And then the final game is Slack. And then come on, team number 8. Which one are you? Who came first? Oh, Zamalek. Slack and Zamalek. That's another great game.
And remember, Zamalek is champs, yo. Juice.
Absolute.
How do you feel about this, man? You know,
Listen.
I mean, like, look, the Tigers are playing as
AS Monitor.
US
Monastir,
Monastir.
yeah.
And Monastir, they are a Tunisian team that came out second, losing to the champs, Zamalek. How do you feel about that?
I mean, this is the Elite 8, the final, and like you saying, single elimination. So no one must be feeling anything right now. We must just be ready for war, you know. And looking at the Tigers, I mean, they just acquired another player the other day. So for me, I'm just looking forward to seeing them go out there and leave it all on the floor.
So here's the interesting thing, right? The rule before we left was you allow one change per team, but the NBA and the BAL and FIBA have come together and they've decided now that every team is only allowed to make 2 changes, 2 wholesale changes, whether there's injury related or whether you want to sign an additional player. So rosters are not going to be complete entirely, and I just saw today that Moab Yasser, the young NBA Academy player, was the debutant last year, going back to Zamalek, and he's just spent a year playing college basketball out in Eastern Tennessee. That's an example. Reg are going to prepare out in Kuwait. They've got some games, and Golan playoffs are happening. The Egyptian playoffs are happening. All of these teams are competing, and my concern is that Cape Town Tigers don't have that same level of competition. They're not being pushed by hardcore professional teams in terms of the way that their prep is happening. You saw what Petro de Luanda looked like coming into the Now conference. You got to see it live. They were out. Maybe our coach or the game strategy was a little bit better when Zamalek were playing, but that's a team you need to look out for. AS Sale know that they're going to have a tough matchup. But on the other side, Coach Liz Mills is one of the only coaches on the continent that's actually beaten Angola. She beat Angola in a game, coaching the Kenyan Morans. So she has that. She understands Angolan basketball and she knows where the weaknesses lie. So it still makes it an interesting one. Slack have got 4 G League players. I don't know what they'll do to bolster that. That start in their lineup. They're great. I can go through each team if you'd really like, and I can give you the advantages and disadvantages of it. But I'm just trying to give you an idea that every day is going to be a different story in terms of every one of those games. Any one of those teams can win and advance to the semifinal.
Give me your top 4. Give me your top 4. Come on now.
No, he likes doing that.
Come on, guys.
I don't understand why you got to
he
rank.
likes doing that.
It does not matter to me. I mean,
Wait. The reason why
because you want okay on
So-
paper. The thing is, paper is one thing, and
So wait. So this is why I want the top 4, right? We were talking about the Cape Town Tigers, and a lot of people wrote off the Tigers. A lot of them. And rightfully so. You know, it's a new club. They just picked up guys, and they go there. They haven't had international experience. I want to know, what is your gut feel? I said Tigers is going through, and they're going through.
okay.
And Tigers said, on this show, we want to win it all on this show.
But then again,
What's your feel?
Let me give him a top 4. Hey, you want a top 4? I'll give you a top 4.
Give me top 4.
Samalek, US Monastir, Reg, and
Petro Luanda.
Petro de Luanda.
All right. So that was top 4 from Q. What's your top 4, baby?
I concur.
Huh?
I concur with Q.
I think Tigers are there in the mix. And you know why? Because they're talking to Chilizi. You don't think that Chilizi can make that difference? I mean, like, you one of the guys that are consulting on the communication and, like trying to get Chilizi out of Japan coming through to Tigers. So what's your feel about that?
It's a matchup-based thing, and the reason they really need him is because of that monster in the paint that is Ater Majok. That is one of the top players, if not the top defensive player, who's now increased his skill set. He's a much better offensive player. There's a lob threat that Chilizi might be able to neutralize if they get him, and it's hypothetical. And you need size. And what he did show, and why they're really great, is that's not the only threat that they have. They've got size, they've got mobility. US Monastir have chemistry, and they've played together. They've been tried and tested. They're not unbeatable, without a doubt. But there's a reason why they win games. They're not going to be nervous down the stretch if they're down 4. They're going to move the ball. They're going to stay in the execution. They're not going to go to iso ball. They'll find holes in that defense. That's why people fear playing them.
Look, Tigers surprise people. I'm still hoping for a surprise. Any win is good for South Africa. And
Any win.
I am hoping and praying and rooting for Tigers. I think we're going to be out there. We're going to be celebrating some wins, even if it's 1 or 2 wins. But hey, the Coach Ra and Coach Relton said they want to win it all, and that would be the only standard that they're going with. So, Juice, you don't think they have a chance?
Listen, for as long as they're going to have 5 men lacing up and hitting the floor, and the score is 0-0 at the start of the game, there will always be a chance, But however, we have to have a realistic approach as well, And for me, elements such as the length of time that guys have played together, they come into play, And it's no disrespect to them because they've shown that they've got abilities individually. However, when it's really like crunch time, and you need 5 strong, and how deep is our bench? That's another thing that we saw, that we got exposed in certain areas of certain games, So it's not being unpatriotic, but it's being it's a more realistic approach, when you look at how long some of these teams have been together,
Well, those are very good analytical points, but I'm going with my heart. I think the top 4 will have Cape Town Tigers, and I think they'll be able to, with just small adjustments, we'll be able to make it. But here's another thing, right? You were at the Ashraf tournament, and there was Perry and Kennedy. And let me tell you something. I watched 1 or 2 games. Man, you could see labels. Tell me about that, man.
Listen, firstly, let me go back and say congratulations to the organizers of the tournament.
Yeah.
Because, this is the first tournament that we've had, first Ashraf that we've had since COVID, since 2019. And for them to come out and put together this tournament, and having a lot of the basketball community come out, not only to play but to also watch the games, it was a spectacle. So congratulations to them. I'm happy that one of the senior guys, Tiamo, came out and he actually said Ashraf is going to be here forever because they've got now newer students coming in and being part of the organizing committee. So it tells you immediately that it's not always going to be all on Tiamo or Manyani or the original organizing committee, but there's always going to be fresh faces and fresh minds coming in. So for me, it's just kudos to them, hats off to them. And the tournament itself, you had teams like my favorite team, by the way, Vests.
This man here used to play with Ashraf. How important is this to you? I mean, you used to play with Ashraf, and you're still playing in the whole tournament. That is in memory of him.
I mean, it's a little surreal, right? Because Ashraf, I don't even think that when we conceptualized this,
I played with him too.
Yeah, I know you did. I don't think that when we conceptualized it, that it was actually going to run for this long and be as big a deal as it is. I mean, it's a running time tournament, which, you can't really change because of the amount of teams that register, and it's already time heavy. But, man, if there's ever a tribute to somebody who was in the game, and because you've also spent time with him, this is a fitting tribute. Absolutely. It is who he was. It's a representation of... of his energy. Ashraf and I used to practice, and then we'd go to Wits practice, and then we'd go play after practice. He really loved the game, and whether it was ones, we were ultra competitive too. So in all of that spirit, that's definitely what Ashraf is. You know, he spoke about his favorite team. There was no reason for us 40-year-olds to get back out there on the court, but we thought it's a nice fitting tribute as well.
Absolute.
And we
Absolute.
will be ultra competitive. We might have wanted to make the final, no doubt. I will tell you that. But hey, sometimes preparation also plays a part of it, right? It really does. But what a tournament, I must say.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something, man. You know, I know this speaks to the fact that, you know, for those who have passed, we can pay tribute to them, but we can't pay tribute to each and every one of them. But we know the spirit of Chris Kazadi, it resonates. The spirit of Mokhumuti, I mean, like the shooter, resonates. But just wrap it up for us and give me the winners of the tournament and what you felt about the tournament.
So again, it was just pure joy to be out there. You know, I had my daughter out, and she was just all over the place and enjoying herself. You know, she's usually out with me at the slaughterhouse, but this for her was just so surreal. You know, and then the eventual winners, we had VUT on the men's side. We had VUT meeting
Girls
with the
in
Phenoms. You know,
He said men's side first, Gabby.
VUT, yeah. Oh, yeah, you thought VNJ? Oh, my bad.
Oh, VT.
Okay, we can go. I apologize. Pardon me for that.
We must
can
stop
go
drinking
ladies'
on this
side.
show.
We can go ladies' side. You know, we had the Vets ladies alumni meeting up with VNJ. That was the ladies' finals. And we saw a great game, you know, of, again, veteran ladies coming out, doing their thing. Emma the Diesel, you know, going to work with VNJ, and they were the eventual winners for the ladies, you know. And one specific thing that I loved about VNJ is the balance between the vets and the youth in the team. You know, you had a young lady in there, Angel, you know, I think she's about 7 foot. Correct me if I'm wrong. No, okay, not 7 foot. But
Don't start myths out here.
She's
okay,
big.
so
She's
there's something
big.
in my drink. But she
tried to dunk the last time we were out there, right?
At that age, and seeing her dominate, and, you know, great fundamentals of the game. She continues to learn, and Coach Kimati was speaking highly of her because, you know, you want guys like Coach Kimati coming out there and picking their brains on the women's game, more especially, you know. So eventually, then you saw VNJ winning the women's final.
But tell me about the plan that Richard Ntai had. He said he's winning this, and he won it.
So again, congratulations to Richard. He's most passionate about basketball in
Love
general,
it.
and
Love
he
it.
loves the Ashraf
I
Memorial
love it.
Tournament with all of his heart, because when the Phenoms won the tournament a few years ago, he hasn't stopped talking about it, and so much that he thought, let me replenish this memory and just go in deep this year, you know.
And he did it nice.
And he did it nice,
He had
man. He had
all
some
the players
great
that
players
were
in there.
relevant.
Absolutely, you know, he had some great players in there, notably Will Perry as well as Jamel Kennedy. You know, he had some of our local all-stars as well, Litlokonolo Tulu, Mabulala as well in there. So it was a great tournament for them, all the way to winning it against VUT in the final.
But I tell you this, it's the first time in my career that I've seen Fitz Hall 29 shout MVP. So Will
Yes.
Perry really did put on a show. Yeah, he warmed up cold hearts, because I know Phenoms don't always get support at the best of times. If we're being real, we're out
Yeah,
here, you know.
absolutely.
But hey, that hall was shifted, and they watched two really great professionals augment some of our local stars, and it was great. But you get to see why and how important foreign imports are, and how they can raise the level of a local game just by being there, and how our local players can also benefit and increase their skill sets. Because there's some moves that you saw Will do that I ain't never seen on the basketball court. And
Labels.
Of course, you know, and also it speaks volumes for Richard's vision as well, because he did come out and say, listen, this is my goal. This is how far I want to take this club into the continent, and it showed. You know, not just on his roster, but his entire organization of, you know, putting that roster together.
Well, let me tell you something. Richard, until we know whether you're South African, you're Kenyan, you're Zambian. To me, I don't know whether we can support the Zambian team. I don't care.
But
I can
tell
support
you
the Zambian team. I can support the Kenyan team. But I gotta know whether you're Zambian, South African, Kenyan, whatever. But anyway, let me tell you something. Just to end this conversation, and I know we're not gonna come back to it. It's in a somber moment that I gotta say, my man Chris, we love you. Rest in peace. My man Mukhumuti, the shooter. We love you. Rest in peace. Basketball will never be the same without you. And whatever it is that you have done, ladies and gentlemen, these men have done what basketball is today that it would have been without them. So,
Salute.
gentlemen, salute.
Salute.
And this is how we honor you, gentlemen. And just like that, we'll be out. We'll be back with the lifestyle. Let's go. Yo, and we're back just like that. And yeah, this is the segment where we talk lifestyle.
That's
Lifestyle and a lifestyle. I got, yo, man, you boys with Danesh, right?
I am, yes.
Can we get the song Lifestyle is a Lifestyle is a Lifestyle?
I'm sure he'll
Oh
make
my
us
gosh.
pay, but I'm sure he'd love
my
it out here.
gosh.
Yo.
Well, let me tell you something. We just thought today, you know, just for today.
Red bottoms.
Yeah, we cannot always
Yeah.
be talking basketball, basketball shoes that you play with.
That's
Because
right.
basketball ain't all about that.
That's right.
Well, look, I'm so concerned because those are beautiful shoes, but why are they so close to the basketball? They don't want to puncture them.
Yeah, the spikes and all that, man. You got to be careful with all that, you know.
But yo, you know, the reason why I thought I should bring this out is, you know, you it's all good. You guys are like rocking basketball shoes. Perfect for the lifestyle. You can walk around, you can hang around, you can rock this and go and play. But I know you're not playing with those because you chose them to be the shoes you hang with.
Yeah.
But I just thought, you know, like when I was in Spain, visiting my boy, my nephew,
Come on
Kimal. We'll come and feature him someday. He plays ball too. I just thought, I looked at these and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to buy basketball shoes. I'm just going to buy chiller shoes. So I want you Jews to tell me, if you had two of these to choose from, we're taking Louis Vuittons and Nikes, and you had to choose one. Man, you know, what would you say about this?
So first of all, I'd probably use that money to buy a house. so I
You know what?
definitely,
This show is over. This show is over.
so I definitely pick myself the runners, man. You know, very comfortable
This guy.
shoe, very comfortable shoe and all that. So I'm alright with my turmeric runners. I'm alright with my turmeric runners, man.
Juice. Really?
yeah, man. You're rocking your house on your feet, man.
I don't know where to go from here. We're building one brick at a time. I don't know. Then these are the bricks, right? You know,
We're building a house, right? We gotta put like this and he's building a house real quick.
what do they say? Fashion is it's supposed to be function, is a form of function. So it would depend. I can tell you that I've got nothing in my wardrobe that will literally work with that at this point right now. Probably the colors are there because that's you gotta have a little bling, a little ice. You know, you gotta make it work. And yeah, your shoes have got to shine too. But because I don't have them, I'd probably go along with that because I've got everything else, and this would just be a normal situation.
Yeah. a
All
normal,
right, so let's do
comfortable
this.
situation.
Just so you know, these are my shoes. These are my shoes. They fit just perfectly fine.
This is a first on the brick, by the way.
First on the break. You know what I mean?
On the
Like,
spot fitting. That's right.
that's right. So if somebody messes with me,
You're gonna take
I'm
the eye out.
gonna be playing with this going forward because I'm gonna kick somebody.
You're gonna literally hurt somebody.
So
That's
they're gonna
the-
call you Spike Lee. Literally, because now it's a combination of Bruce Lee with some spikes.
And it happens to rhyme with cabbies. Cabby Spike Lee. Spiky.
Well, let me tell you something, man. You know, this was really fun. It was a good show. It was a somber / amazing for basketball in South Africa that the Cape Town Tigers are going to the BAL. For the first time and the only time that they had a chance, they're making it to the BAL
Playoffs.
and look at where we are now. And unfortunately, it had to be somber because of the deaths and whatever. But you know, let me tell you something. Quintin, remind people, we're going to Kigali next week. Kigali, and you know what? Billy Preston was like, "We're going to Kijali."
Is that what he said?
Give him the dates real quick, man.
21st to 28th of May is the date of the actual playoffs.
Say that again.
21 to
21
28 May.
To the 28th.
That's when the actual playoffs happened.
That's right.
So
you
you'll have
lose, you go home.
You lose, you go home. Single elimination, and there are 2 rest days in between. So we have quarterfinal 1, quarterfinal 2, 2 days off. Then we have the semifinal. Then we have the 3rd and 4th place game, and then the final day, that 28th, is when the final happens.
Right. Juice, what you got to say to the Cape Town Tigers?
Good luck, man. You know, more than anything, congratulations with all the progress up to this far, because it has to be commended. You know, South Africa is in a continental basketball conversation. South Africa is being mentioned in high NBA offices in New York because we've got a team that is representing the country in the BAL. So hats off to them, hats off to Ra, all the work that they've been putting in on the back end, and all of the very best, man. You know, you cannot thank them enough for on behalf of basketball for everything that they continue to do and raising the bar for the game in the country.
Well, I guess the only thing that's left now is to raise the glasses for job well done to the Tigers.
Absolutely.
As we sign off, because we're done with this show. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to the Tigers. Q, you look like you want to say something.
No, I'm going to let you close. But as I say, good luck to the Tigers. And I like what you said, because they are representing South Africa on a continental stage. Best of luck. You've done the hard work. I don't know where we end from here, but, you know, do your best.
So let me tell you something. Yo, the Tigers, some people do not believe in you. Yes, we did have our concerns, but look at you now. You're going to the playoffs. Look at you now. You're right there where everybody else didn't think you're going to be. And for that, we salute. Thank you so much. And thank you to the crew. Everybody out there.
Yeah, shout out to the basketball
cheers to the
sheriff.
Tigers.
Shout out
And
to
just like that,
everybody,
we're
man.
signing out. We see you in Kigali. Let's go.